What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. And this week, we have an awesome guest from the Indianapolis metal scene in the band Scorched Earth, the guitar player extraordinaire. Dude, like, one of the funniest fucking things that I think we've ever experienced together was the power going out at Black Circle.
That power outage, man.
And Brandon held his guitar the entire time.
I sure did.
Walking around the club, talking to various people. We were all just like, hey, is this going to happen? What's going on? You know?
I was just like, if the power's going to come back on, I wanted to be ready, you know?
And fuck if you not were, man. And that was such a great night. It was so wild to have a fucking weird-ass show where, you know, I was talking with Jason Roach the other day about, like, it's all uncharted territory.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
No matter what. Yeah. It's all uncharted. Whether you could play 400 fucking local shows in your career, and every single one of them will be a fucking weird ass different.
If something doesn't go as, let me rephrase that. If a show completely goes as planned, it's not a real local show.
Yes. Yes. That's
like you got to plan for something to go wrong, and you got to roll with the punches.
Well, and I'm sure, too, what is going on with this thing over here? Hang on. See, this is why the beauty of editing, I've moved it around so much, I've loosened it up a little bit. It's a very taut stand. I like this, you know?
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly what we were just saying, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing goes to plan. You know, like an episode a couple weeks ago with Scott. It was like, I was like, yeah, there's no real primer for this. We're just going to go into it. And so I just decided to leave it in the very beginning of the episode and go for it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Signorino.
Well, that's close. Signorino.
Yeah,
it's Italian.
There we go. See, and
I don't expect anyone to pronounce it right, so you're good.
Well, at least I wasn't like Signorio or something. I'm sure you get that.
I've gotten that before. I've even got Signorelli, which, why are you adding letters in there? You know what I mean?
I mean, like Signoprano or something.
I've gotten every butchering you could think of.
Dude, I totally, I could totally get it. Like, I'm not like my common ass name, you know. I always got the joke of, like the basketball player from the Pacers, you know, Mark Jackson. And it's like, I get that, but you know, a little Indiana humor there. Or the big one, are you related to Michael?
Oh boy. Really?
Yes.
That never crossed my mind.
I'm a product of the 80s. So like the time that was a thing. Now, you know, it's not so much, but
I will
say
quite as much of the part of the zeitgeist as it used to be.
Exactly. But I will say that I do know a Michael Jackson.
Hey.
Who is 2 months younger than me. No relation either. So
I figured it was a family member. Wow.
No, definitely not. And actually, no. That's a weird thing. You know, we'll go into that on a whole other episode about my family lineage and how I'm not related to like fucking anybody on my dad's side of the family. And like, not by choice, but by like, he was an only child and his mom was an only child kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So yeah, especially, you know, given in the times that they were born, like 1900 and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, especially my dad's side of the family, the Italian side of my family is huge. It's extensive.
Oh, sure.
I don't like, most of them live in Detroit or the Detroit area.
Right.
There's a large Italian population there. And
yes.
When I go back there for like family gatherings or, you know, funerals, things like that, like I'll see a lot of them but man, there's hundreds of people and I don't know most of them, you know?
Dude, that's some of the coolest stuff. Like, I always remember we would do like my mom's side of the family reunion type stuff. And like, Yeah, there were always the same cousins that you saw at like Christmas and at like the every 2 year family or 3 year family reunion type thing at the FOP lodge.
Yeah.
Um, because that's where you did things back in the day. You didn't have all these luxury event fucking spaces to rent. You did it in community centers and school gymnasiums and FOP lodges and American Legions and shit like that.
Yep.
We even did shows in those places.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you probably remember those days too.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the very first show I played in high school was at a place called the Knights of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And like they rented the place out for events and stuff. So
yep.
I played that same place 2 times in high school, weirdly.
Dude, our place in high school that we rented was the local fire department.
Oh, that's cool, actually.
Yeah. And because they had a partition wall from where the trucks were,
wow,
to the main part of the building, which was kind of like a half gym, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
And because there was like a basketball hoop in there, and they had like you could get to the top of the key and be able to shoot your 3 points and all that shit all the way around. But but they had it for meetings and training and all of that stuff. But having a friend whose dad was deputy chief of the volunteer fire department because he had been on it since he was like 18.
Wow.
Hey, we were able to rent the fire department and put on some pretty good fucking shows there.
Hey,
it's like, hey, you did what you could back in the day. But anyways, we're here for a band called Scorched Earth.
Yep.
From Indianapolis, Indiana. Brandon, thank you for coming. I know we've talked about this for so many times now.
We have talked about it for a while.
And now it's finally here. And, it's how it is. It's like life happens.
Oh, yeah.
And, we all get busy doing things. We're all recording albums at the same time. We're all writing songs at the same time. We're all going to a day job, going to a band practice, just
trying to play gigs along the way. Yep.
Playing the gigs along the way, and then you've got family stuff and birthdays and holidays and
everything.
It's all, it never ceases to amaze me how fast time goes. Yeah. That it's been almost a year since the Blackout show.
I know.
I mean, it was April of last year.
Yep.
And so tell everybody in Metal Forge land about Scorched Earth.
Okay. Well, my little elevator speech, I guess you could say, is I like to say we're kind of groovy, thrashy death metal. If you like 90s Sepultura, pretty much you'll like what we've got to offer. Got a little bit of that like later like 2000s Slayer in there too. The when they were a little more groovy, less like all out speed. Although we have fast stuff too, but yeah, I try to prioritize having like groovy, catchy riffs. Then I try to combine that heavy and catchy at the same time, something that you can move around to, even though it's really heavy.
For sure. So this has been a project for quite a while.
It has. It's kind of had a complicated history. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was originally Panzer.
Yep. Way back.
Yep. And then shifted into Scorched Earth. Yeah. Now, here's one of my little offshoot stupid Metal Forge questions here is, the blessed debate. Is it blessed or blessed?
Right. I guess it depends on the context.
Is it scorched or scorched? It
is scorched. Yes. Scorched Earth.
Scorched Earth.
You know what?
Right.
I'm actually kind of surprised I've never had someone say Scorched Earth. Like
I know, especially being around this area.
Yeah, it sounds plausible. Yeah.
Yes,
Kind
it
of
very
surprised that
much
hasn't come
does.
up yet.
Scorched Earth coming
That's
to a dive bar near you.
that's
No,
so funny. Wow. I can't
it
believe I've
it
not heard that yet.
yeah. One second. Anyway, so yeah, a complicated history for sure, going from one
Yeah.
band to another. So,
You want me to kind of explain how that
well,
went?
yeah, if it's something you feel like is a warranted discussion
Yeah.
is to the band, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of
Because I'm sure
give.
you had fans that came over from, and then you probably had the ones that were like, whatever happened, or were like, oh, that was one of my favorite bands. And or they lose contact or whatever, don't
Yeah.
realize that you changed
Yeah.
names or something.
Well, and I tried to do my best to kind of let people know over the years. So let me kind of go back to that time. So Panzer formed in like 2006, 2000 maybe oh 05, oh 06, somewhere in there. Um, and we we played a lot of shows back then, and but we never recorded anything. I mean, we did record here and there like demos and stuff, but that was on like a little cassette recorder thing like that back then. I didn't have like a portable like interface or something like that back then that I could reliably hook up and get going. So, um, anyway, played a lot of shows. Weirdly enough, though, we played most of our shows outside of Indianapolis because back then, the indie scene was really dominated by punk and hardcore. So there just there weren't any venues like wanting metal, at least not that we could get shows with for some reason.
Well, and I was talking about this same concept with a few other people as what I called the dark days of metal.
Yeah.
And it's from that 2005 to 2011, 12
Yep.
eras, depending on where you're at. And yeah, there were bands on the bigger level, but then there were other bands that were in that mid-level line as well. But like on a local level, not a lot of people had committed to like the high speed internet yet.
Yep.
Cell phones were still just becoming a normal thing, because you think
Yeah.
the
I mean,
first
I
iPhone came out in like 2006 or 7.
yeah, I had a flip phone at the time.
Yeah, same here. Exactly. Pushing 9 14 times to get to the
Yep.
to the one, to
We
the
all got good
music
at
note.
T9 back then.
Jesus, yes. And like, but like during that same time period, like the quality of demos kind of really still was down.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a thing like today where you can just plug in an interface to a laptop or
Yeah.
even a fucking phone or a tablet at this point.
Yeah. Like if like Apple
Your
has that little
iPad
iRig.
Max.
Yeah.
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 And so getting an actual recording at that time, an actual good demonstration, a formal demonstration as it is, getting that was a lot harder, and a lot of people weren't doing them. So I totally get why, because that's how Overload was as well. We started in '07, and it was 2011 before our first actual full-length album came out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was just one,
It was a weird time.
the poverty was real among the metalheads, I think. And I think it was, a whole, the economy was for shit. It was $4 a gallon gas through a lot of that,
Yep.
and yeah, so I totally get it.
Yeah. So
And I
mean,
say that now like gas is apparently fucking all this cheap commodity, but no, it's definitely fucking not.
It's not.
No. I remember the days. I remember the days of 89 and 85 cent a gallon gas. And that's like hardcore. Like I
Yeah.
remember those days.
Yeah.
But I never drove during those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting and weird time. Um, yeah, I like the way you put that, like the dark ages, sort of that time, because, um, so like Panzer, like I said, we played a bunch of shows, but mostly out of town. We actually played, I would say most of our shows we played were in like Evansville or that area.
Sure.
Um, um, weirdly, Evansville had a pretty decent metal scene at the time.
They did during that era. And now they're a fucking barren wasteland.
Yeah, there's nothing there now. And I mean, I know a few bands that are from around there still, but like, but it doesn't seem like they have any like venues that will do shows or anything. So, but
Well, I've seen this person promoting on Facebook from Evansville, and they're promoting like Battle of the Band shows.
what do you want to bet those are pay to play type things?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying. And I
Yep.
fucking called them out on it. And they were like, well, you can come down and check it out. I'm like, fuck you.
No.
It's like,
Nah. Well, people like you and me, like who've been playing in the scene for so long, like we paid our dues. We don't need to do this pay to play anymore.
no. And I mean, you know, and that's like a big like misconception on things. And a lot of people today think that selling tickets is pay to play. And it's not.
It
I mean, like if
there's a
someone's
difference.
telling you that you have to give them X amount of dollars to play this show in ticket sales, that's pay to play. But
Yep.
like if you're just whatever you sell, you keep, or
That's
whatever,
different. Yeah.
that's different,
And I
and
played both.
or whatever you sell, you split,
Right.
that's different. That's the nature of the game,
Yeah.
because I don't care what it is. And I hate to be this guy. I heard Jim Ross say it one time with wrestling. I'm a wrestling nerd. And he was just like, it doesn't matter about whatever as long as there's an ass every 18 inches,
Yeah.
which is a standard seat length, is 18 inches. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
and it's like, I hate to like be that guy, but like, it is kind of that way sometimes where it's like, we've all played those shows where, there's been 12 people there or
Yep.
less or
Yep.
less. And,
It
we
happens.
played those shows where there's been 400 or 500 people there or more.
Yep.
And, yeah, it's like, obviously you like to see them more.
Yeah. 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 I mean, well, and so, all of us in these local bands have done that, and Panzer was no exception. So
Sure.
we, we, there was one show we played in Franklin, Indiana, just south of Indy.
Is
And,
it a place called Logos?
no, back then it was called the Rooftop, but it wasn't an actual rooftop venue.
But did you have to go up to the stairs to get to it?
It was upstairs. Yeah. It may be the same place.
Yeah, I think it might be, because there was like the stairwell in the back, at least, had like you could go up and around, but it was so narrow that you couldn't get like two people to carry a cab, and you couldn't carry it by
Yep.
one.
Yep.
You almost had to like scoot this motherfucker. But if you went through the front, it was a straight ass fucking like 45-degree angle, like 42 steps up.
Yep. Yeah, I
with
think
no
this is that
landing
same
in
place.
between.
I do remember it being very narrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was called Logos when we played there in like the early 2000s,
Okay. Well,
like
this would have
2002.
I can actually look up. I keep a nerd alert. I keep a spreadsheet of all the gigs I've ever played.
Dude,
So,
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't updated it for a while, but I have a book, scrap show,
like a
scrapbook.
scrapbook. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Scrap show, scrapbook.
Yep.
Or
I
no, crap shows, scrapbook.
there you go.
There
Yeah.
it is.
No, I did. I have any of the shows I've ever played that did have actual tickets, which wasn't that many, but I do have those saved. But
Sure. No, I
But-
mean, dude, I keep that stuff too. It was
it's
really
important
cool
for preservation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you never know what, your career is going to entail. You might have a fan base, and let's look at it like this. Metallica's releasing giant ass box sets of all of their albums on their like 30 and slash 29-year anniversary shits, right?
Right. Yep.
But here's the thing with that. What's so cool about it is like we have the power to do that too for our fans and friends who would buy that stuff and
Yeah.
who would just love to have a copy of it.
Yeah.
To sit there and say, look at this deluxe edition. I'm just going to use my album Pantheon, where it comes with all of the fucking demos, like full recorded
Yep.
practices,
Yeah, you gotta save that stuff.
and yeah, I've got that stuff and demo artwork, like conceptual art shit. I
Yep.
have all that stuff for that album and it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun to be able to catalog that stuff and have like a copy of the ticket stubs and stuff,
Yep.
which one of my prized pictures that I have was one year for my birthday. My family got it because my older brother, my birthday, and my nephew are all within 3 days.
Oh wow.
So it's like the 25th, the 26th, and the 28th.
Wow.
And so we always have a get together for all three of us, right? And they got us cakes with the stuff that we were into. Like my brother races cars, so they got one with his
Yeah.
picture on
Yeah.
the cake and everything. And then for me, they got one with the ticket and the band picture on there and all of that. And my nephew was into baseball at the time, so he got the baseball cake with his picture. So it was a really cool thing that they had like my ticket on the cake.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's thoughtful.
Yeah, for sure. So you were saying about the show in this place.
Yeah, so
Go on.
it was June 2008. I just looked. So and we played at this place. We had never played there before. And to truth be told, I don't remember how we got this gig, but I mean it was so long ago, but geez, that was 18 years ago. Wow. Um Look at that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we played this show and pretty much no one showed up. It was us and the other bands and the sound guy. Except during our set, so this was summertime, right? They had the front door open and someone came in off the street during our set and he was just like, I heard you guys playing outside. That was badass. Like, so we gained a fan that day, but
Dude, that's great though.
but it was one of those things like, yeah, there was almost no one else in that room, but like that made it worth it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
So what date was that again? June?
It was June 19th, 2008.
See, that's the problem is because Franklin is a college town.
It is. Yeah. And it's
And
summertime. The students aren't there.
yep, summertime students are gone, and the ones that are there are buckling down because they're doing summer classes to get the fuck out of there.
Yep. Yeah. And even now, Franklin doesn't have much of a nightlife sort.
It's
there's
very,
a few
very
places.
small.
There's like the Art Craft Theater is an old movie theater there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Seen some movies there. It's pretty neat. But anyway,
there's another one. There's one up there that's like a really old, like 1928 theater that they've done some stuff in, and I've been to that one, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And because we watched some screenings of some films up there. I think one of them was Chuck Terrell's their film company. I think it was Holy Shit Man. Yes.
Yeah, we went.
Shout out Brent. He's in the hospital. He is Holy Shit Man.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to give him a
Yeah.
big shout out here on the Metal Forge.
Yeah.
For sure. He's a rad dude. Super fun guy. He lives in Illinois, and like they were doing the premiere that night, and he drove on his motorcycle in like stormy ass fucking weather like because we didn't know it was going to storm. We
Oh
didn't pay,
no.
nobody pays attention to the weather. It's like up and changed. And like he rode for like 3.5 hours on fucking his bike to get there. It was
Wow.
like, holy shit.
That's dedication.
Man, get it? Holy shit, man. Yeah. Yeah. He was kind of like Beetlejuice. You would say, holy shit, man. And he would appear
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
kill you and shit like that. And
Funny.
shit all over you and shit. Fucking shit. But yeah, that place, I remember us getting a gig there in like '02, '03, something like that. And it was just like, it was wretched.
Yeah.
Like, same deal, like, but it was like super hot out. I think
Oh
ours
yeah.
was in like September,
Yeah.
but it was just like super hot out, like just nobody showed up. I mean, it
Yep.
was just one of those fucking awful events. It was like, fuck, we'll never play here again.
Yeah.
And guess what? I never did.
We never did either.
I don't even know if it's a place anymore.
Yeah, I have no idea. I worked in Franklin for a little bit, and I don't think it's there. But
Right
um,
on. So, okay, so the disbanding
so
or
yeah, that
switching.
yeah. So the we stopped playing shows. Our last show was in 2010. It was a big metal festival in Princeton, Indiana. Um, at There were a bunch of bands from especially that area playing at that festival. If I can remember some of them, I think there was a band called Of Us All that played. They were very Pantera esque, like the
I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah the
It
guitarist
sounds familiar.
especially like looked like Dimebag and played
Oh
like him.
wow.
Like I mean, he had the dyed beard and everything, and great guitarist, good band. They put on a good show. Um, Another band I remember playing was they were called Bloodstream Parade. Um,
Okay.
I can't remember if they're from that area or not, but they were really good live. Bunch of other bands. It was a big festival thing, you know, and but that was our last one, and we kind of like stopped for a while. I And actually I didn't play any shows for like 4 or 5 years at all. I like nothing in that in between time. So like you were saying, the dark ages, that it was truly like that.
Oh sure.
So anyway, fast forward quite a bit. I in
So
2015,
Bloodstream. Hey, okay. So Bloodstream Parade is still a band.
yeah, I wasn't sure if they were still around.
They have been active since 2004,
They did a really good
and
cover of Fireball by Deep Purple. I remember that.
nice.
Yeah, they recorded
Uh,
it and released it. It was really good.
so they put out a full length in 2009, and then they
Was
did the
that
Fireball single in 11.
Yeah, was that 2009? Was that the Apocalypse in retrospect or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to date, that has been the only album that they have put out. Those
Yeah.
have been the only two releases,
Yeah, I'm
and they're
pretty
from
sure I have a copy
Chicago.
of that here somewhere, but anyway, yeah, they were good. I really enjoyed playing with I think we played a couple shows with them now that I think about it. Um but yeah, there are a bunch of bands that we played a lot of shows with, especially from that area, just cuz like I said, we played Evansville more than we did Indy. So,
Sure. Which that's a haul, though,
yeah,
because
back then
that's a,
especially cuz back then
back then,
I-69 didn't exist.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like you had to go down like 37 to fucking like Bloomington
If you
or
wanted to
to
go
two.
through all the woods, I didn't like to do that at night, especially after a show, because like I was always afraid I was going to hit a deer. So
Sure.
I usually did we'd take 41 over to Terre Haute sorry, what was that, 70 over to Terre Haute, and then
Yeah.
41 south to Evansville. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because
It was like
yeah.
3.5, 4 hour drive.
Oh, for sure. Because it's what 45 minutes to an hour to Terre Haute from Indy.
I think it's about an hour or little, yeah, about an hour ish.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, and then but you also lose a time zone in there
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Because when
Yep.
you go to Evansville, they're
It's
on
Central
Central Time, and
Time.
it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, so like when I grew up in Indiana, like where we are so close to Louisville,
Yeah.
we had what they had fast time and slow time down
Okay.
here. And so like slow time, like when the time changed, so like Louisville stayed on Eastern time where Indiana moved to Central for most of the state.
Oh, for daylight savings, you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they finally just did away with that bullshit
Mm-hmm.
where you shifted and Indiana's been on Eastern time ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a time when we had to like either we stayed on Louisville time or we stayed on the time of where our county was.
Yeah.
And like, so like 7 o'clock in Louisville was 6 o'clock in Pekin.
Okay.
So like you were an hour behind.
Yep.
So like when mom had to be at work at 8, it was still 7 there. So she was at work when we were still getting ready for the school bus type
Oof.
shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, half of the year she would get home before us, and the other half she would get home an hour after us. And it
Wow.
was just like this crazy shit of fucking Indiana. But
Yep.
yeah, Evansville's still fucking on Central Time. So
Yeah,
there's
sure is.
I don't
But,
get it, but I
yeah.
do because it's where it is.
I
Because
mean, yeah,
isn't that
but
part of Kentucky also like where Paducah and shit is?
yeah, I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking time zones.
yep,
The fucking government plot.
it is. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, 2010 was the last Panzer show, and we several years later I got involved with a band called Steel Aggressor. I don't know if you remember that band or not. It
I
was
do
like
not.
so it was really mainly one guy. His name's Rick. And he had been like writing and releasing stuff for a while. But he got a show at the Fifth Quarter in Indy, if you remember that venue.
Oh gosh,
R.I.P.
yes.
Yeah. And but he didn't have a full lineup yet. He needed a guitarist. So 3 weeks before that show, I joined up as a fill-in and played the show, learned the set in 3 weeks. It was fine. Um,
Those are
and
always nice.
I ended up playing a bunch of shows with that band over a few years. Probably our biggest show was we opened for Havoc when they came through Indy.
Sweet.
That was a really good show. Anyway, that kind of was my re-entry into the metal scene. And McCracken and I had been jamming. McCracken is my drummer in Scorched Earth, and he was in Panzer before.
Sure.
So he and I had been best friends for a long time, and we jammed a little over those years. But I would say, especially in the last like 5 years or so, we really were trying to get this back off the ground, and we finally did. So last November, not this past one, but November 2024, we released that demo, little 3-song demo, and finally gave this project a little legitimacy after so long. Because even now, we play 2 of the songs that we played in the Panzer days.
Okay.
Those aren't on that demo, but we do we have those in our set. That's a little fun. So
And honestly, the Demolition 3-track deal. I still assume 3 tracks is an EP. But like I completely dig the radiation style.
yeah,
Like the thing. It does look post-apocalyptic.
yep,
And then the Scorched Earth logo. That's something that you don't see a lot of bands do anymore. There's some bands that still do it, like where they'll have like a thing, not so much like as mascots, like some of those
yeah,
bands like Eddie
yeah,
and Vic Rattlehead and Scary Guy and all that shit. But like you all have a design
Yeah.
that,
That's thanks to my wife, Sam.
and
She does
that's
all our design
awesome.
work.
It's kind of like your own like radon symbol kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
And so like
I try to give it a little
the
personality.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like, you see take Coheed for example. They've got the design that's like on the backdrops
Yeah.
and
Yep. I know
everything.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's like it almost. I'm gonna say it's like the Deathly Hallows thing. It's like the
Yeah,
three triangles.
it's that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's totally cool because again, you don't see a lot of bands do that anymore. Where like back in the day, like logos had to be of a certain thing or whatever. Like the metal bands had logos that were just like sharp and angular,
Yep.
and the power metal bands had ones that were like you know that were like easily etched in stone kind of look.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you had the bands like the hair metal bands where they were like cursive and like bubbly, like fucking like you could write it with a bubble pen or some
Yeah.
shit, like the teenage girl bullshit,
Yep.
and whatnot. But like it's funny how like you have those bands that had that same effect with symbols as well.
Yep. Yeah. So that was kind of the idea, is give it a little personality, have like a little recurring theme thing.
For sure. Now,
Yeah.
does it stand for anything in particular?
It's actually a governmental symbol for chemical weapon. So like how like there's the biohazard symbol or
Sure.
the radiation symbol or whatever. This is one of those. It's just not as common.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's cool because it's fair use.
Yeah. It sure is.
So like that's like a cool thing. Like as soon as I see stuff like that and the way like the cover looks with like the distortion, like the VHS distortion
Yeah.
video stuff, it's what it looks like to me. That
Yeah.
you
It looks like
know
CRT scan lines.
exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly what it looks like. And what you can do, like seeing that design, that image design, and like the immediate possible stamped in steel, branded like fire, fucking it's like Jesus, you so much you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your all's logo to begin with anyways, where it's like the cracked earth looking one, and then to
Yeah.
the actual like riveted scorched earth,
Yep.
which is great too.
Yeah.
you know that's something that I think a lot of bands, that we all agonize over
Oh
when we
yeah.
think of band names,
Yeah.
like the symmetrical ability of like
Yeah.
is
How's
it
it gonna look on
symmetrical?
a shirt, sort of thing?
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
what we all are. we're
Yeah.
we're t-shirt salesmen.
Yep. We got to keep that in mind at all times.
Like my coffin cat shirt right
Yep.
here. I've loved it. I've had this thing for like a decade and it feels
Yep.
great.
Yep. My Wise Blood Records shirt here.
Dude, fuck yes. And I thought that's what that was. And I
Yep.
love it. And I think it's on. No, I've actually got the knight on the door over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the warlord, I think is what
Yep.
it's called.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally love that. And I love Sean and
Yeah. Sean
everybody.
is awesome. He was
Yeah, like
such a treat
total
to work
shouts
with.
out to Sean at Wise Blood and
He's
his
done so much
better
good
half.
work.
Yes, they do. They do so much for independent metal in general
Yeah.
and just the Indianapolis scene. And actually, you know what? No matter wherever Sean goes, he's
Yeah.
helping out somebody
Oh
somewhere.
yeah.
It seems like
Yeah.
at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been such a treat to work with over the years. Cause like, so like, he released the first Lavaborne record,
Sure.
which
Black Winged Gods.
that's right. Yep. It's not Black Winged Gods. It's Black Winged Gods. That's right. um, but, uh, but yeah, I mean, that was what, 29 or when did we release that? 2020,
That's funny that you mentioned that. Because
21.
yes, because I just saw that on Instagram with Max Barber talking about his studio work
Yep.
and him working on that album. That was like the
Yep.
first, like, he's like, if you want references for my material, here it is. And that was the first one that he put out. And
Yep.
I was like, dude, that's such a great album. And like, I love still to this day, I want my second album,
Yeah. I
but
I'm still very proud of that record. We all really had to push ourselves hard on that, and because we held ourselves to a really high standard.
oh, for sure. And you have to.
Yeah, and
And having you all having the show finally, big goddamn metal show where getting Lavaborne to play, at that time, that was great too.
yeah,
And I think that was like the last time that was anything done.
yeah. I mean, that was well, and that was after I left actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Max switched over to guitar, and Kyle from obviously Ice Howl and
Yep.
Rat King played drums for that show. But yeah, that was the first and only show without me.
So by the way, the clock goes here, I'm going to go ahead and say this on this week's episode. Stay tuned for Ice Howl's live announcement tomorrow, just in case, it doesn't like snow a goddamn metric shit ton again, and we actually get to practice on February 14th. You're getting part 2 of the EP on. This is going to air on the 13th. So, bam.
So exciting.
Yes. So now I can make like some announcements and say, hey, pay attention to Ice House page on February 14th. All you lovebirds out there, there's announcements coming.
Yeah. That's so exciting. I'm so proud of you guys. I know you put so much work into that.
Dude, yeah. So definitely the lineup has changed over the last few years as well.
Yep.
You've added some new people.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So let me talk about that for a minute. So when McCracken, the drummer, and I decided to really start working on getting this off the ground, we started kind of putting the feelers out, kind of privately for people to try to bring on, and so one of those, well, we got Sara and Andy, both from Cursed Blade and Burning Giant. Another one of those.
Cursed Blade?
It is Cursed Blade. Yep.
Not Cursed Blade?
Not Cursed Blade. Yep. I know.
It's gonna be a thing now.
I know.
We're starting a thing here.
I know. Next thing you know, people are gonna start calling us Scorched Earth.
They are, and it's gonna eat at you every time. You're gonna be like, "Fuck you, Mark."
Hey,
Fuck
no, you know
Mark.
what? If people are saying the name, that's all good for me.
As Jim Ross said, an ass every 18 inches.
That's right.
So,
but we got Sara and Andy. So Andy plays guitar as well, and Sara has primarily been a drummer in the other bands she's been in. But she told me she wanted to play bass, and so I was like, hell yeah, great. And then also around that time, we had for a little while we had Ty Winslow from Cursed Blade.
Sure.
And so many other bands, right? Milk Toast. He was in Occult Deceiver back in the day, which, weirdly enough, when Steel Aggressor played with Havoc that time, I'm pretty sure Occult Deceiver was also on that bill.
Dude, that's amazing. So on your spreadsheet, do you actually put the other bands that you played with?
Yep.
Dude, that is amazing. Record keeping is so cool. And usually what I've done, I'll put like a little blurb.
Yeah,
Before tweeting was a thing, I'll write like a paragraph or something, or maybe a
yeah,
fucking sentence like
yeah,
this show
something.
fucking sucked. You know,
Yeah, just have
just
something.
that
Yeah,
memory. I can see that little blurb and remember that fucking show. And
yeah,
and I love that about it.
yeah,
Or keeping a flyer of the show is I've always tried to do as
yeah.
well.
I've always tried to do that too. Especially the older stuff. I don't have some of those, but at least the more recent stuff, I have all of those.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And what's so cool like about that scene up there is there's so many awesome people from like different walks of life, but the whole idea of the same walk of life to the same degree.
yeah. I mean, we're all it's a community. I mean, we've
Yeah.
all a lot of us musicians have been doing this a long time. Like, with me, I've been playing shows since 2005.
Oh my gosh.
It's been over 20 years for me. And I know it's been longer for you,
Yes,
and
actually it has. And I don't like first of I would say first like official show. Wow, probably like 1998 or 99.
yeah.
Yeah, so like I was around before the turn of the century.
But
But yeah, I remember going to shows like in 95 when I was 12. I
yeah.
remember going to shows because a friend of mine had went to the music store and picked out a fucking a wanted ad, called the people, went and auditioned. They were over in like the ritzy ass fucking part of like Pee Wee Valley, Kentucky, like real fucking like $1 million home type shit in that day. And like yeah, and so I went to practices for them, went to shows with them. It was totally cool. And then I got into it, and I was already into playing music anyways. And it was just like totally cool. It just kind of happened.
little sidebar. Do you remember what your
Sure.
first concert was?
First like
Like
official concert.
attended? Do you like when you were a kid? Do you remember what your first concert you went to was as a kid?
Okay, so this is a weird thing. Like I remember being like a little kid, but not going to anything like that.
Okay.
My parents didn't, we had a family of five in the 80s and early 90s. The economy was for shit then too.
Yeah.
For especially for like a family of five where, fucking like and you're poor.
Yeah.
But it's like you never know that you're poor until you look back on it and say, man, we didn't have fucking shit, but we had enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know it was kind of that thing. And like the actual like first band thing outside of like school that I saw was the first Cavalry band
Okay.
uh in Fort Hood, Texas.
Wow.
And they did like the color guard,
Yeah.
and so I got to see that when I was like 10. But like
Oh,
first
cool.
like actual like metal show was a local show at like a community center. And I remember one of the bands because that was my friend's band, and that was the band Bliss. But
Okay.
like first actual like ticketed event
Yeah.
like to go to was Social Distortion.
Wow.
And what's so cool about it is I still have the shirt from
You
that
still
show.
have the shirt. Look at that. Wow.
And it is and that was in 1997.
Okay.
And it was at a place called the Brewery Thunderdome
Wow.
in Louisville, Kentucky. And what was so cool about this place is you went in at street level, and then you kind of walked up a ramp, and then there was a bar. And then on the other side of the bar, there was a dual set of staircase into a pit. And in the corner of the venue is where the band played. And on one side of this, on one side, they had like a catwalk where there was like, you could stand up there and drink and shit like that. Totally fucking safe shit, You could totally fall off this. And it was just a rail.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking aluminum fucking rail, like the ones you see at the old movie theater type shit.
Wow.
But yeah, it was Social Distortion, Red 5, and a couple other bands. And I got tickets based on calling the radio station.
I did that before. Yeah.
And saying, no, not even asking about a win or anything. Not even doing that. Just saying, hey, dude, where's the party at? And the dude gave me fucking tickets to the Social D show.
I remember I was a teenager. I won tickets to see, it was Journey and Def Leppard, I think.
Okay.
Because I was like the 9th caller or something like that.
You are the 9th caller, number 9.
Yeah, to the local classic rock station, So
fuck yeah, dude. I've won tickets to see what did I I've won tickets to see Aerosmith. I won tickets to see Korn and Rob Zombie.
Wow.
Back in maybe 01, 2000, maybe.
So that was probably right at their peak.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the first time I had seen Korn. That was like the 4th time.
Yeah.
And it was like the 3rd or 4th time I got to see Rob Zombie by that point too.
Man.
So you wouldn't catch me dead seeing either of them now. But no, I mean, that was the thing at the time, and but that was like the whole deal of it was like going and seeing some of those shows and winning those tickets. And dude, get this, check this out. So the fucking deal, the show got canceled and we didn't know. We drove up to Indy and we're like, fuck, man, the show got canceled.
Was it at Deer Creek?
No, it was downtown. It was like it was like the RCA Dome.
Yeah, the RCA Dome. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time. And now it's Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is now. But no, so we drove all the way there. And then I made friends with, when I was 13, 14 years old, I was calling a radio station all the fucking time. And it fucking really pissed my parents off because it was long distance.
Oh no.
So you're fucking talking at 15 cents a fucking minute extra on your fucking phone. And they're like, God damn it. What the fuck? Because it's just you get where you're trying to win the contest and it's 502 571 09570, bam, and you're like redial. Yeah, and it's 10 cents after 10 cents after 10 cents. Fucking, we're getting phone bills $200 fucking dollars a month. It's in 1997. It's motherfucker, you got to stop. But no, so that show got canceled, and I fucking called the dude at the station. I was like, hey man, that show got canceled. Can you get me something else? And they ended up sending me a bunch of fucking CDs and shit.
Oh, that's cool.
And not only that, but I got my first copy of Black Sabbath Reunion on
there
CD. That was a promo from the radio station.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's
yeah,
a keeper.
Dude. And I still have it.
Yeah.
It is beat to fuck and back. But I still have both discs and the booklet.
Wow.
And it's got that little fucking sawed out notch in the spine.
Yep. That's so funny.
I think I got a Psycho Circus that time too. Fucking, you're in the Psycho Circus. And so I say welcome to the show.
Yeah. Yeah, my first big concert was the mid 90s, 95, 96, at Deer Creek.
Okay.
And it was Styx with Pat Benatar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been, so that's pre comeback era type stuff. Cause you're thinking 90, 94, 95, 96 with them. And they're really kind of
right after their drummer died.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
kind of at the end of their like original career.
Yep.
Then they take like that. I know they probably did stuff between this time point, but then like about a decade later, 05, 06, they started doing the like the fair tour circuit
Yep.
stuff and were like, you know, playing free shows to the
Yep.
fucking to the state fairs, and but then doing some like incredible fucking stuff, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
living
mean,
like rock stars again.
yeah. I mean, that, I saw Styx live a lot of times after that. And, um, like Tommy Shaw, the guitarist, was kind of my inspiration to want to play guitar in the first place.
Now, was it from Styx or was it from fucking damn Yankees?
Oh man,
Can you take me high enough, Brando?
I do love that song though. I
Dude,
played that at
so
my
you know
wedding.
there's two versions of that song, right?
I'm not. No, what?
Yes. There's there's a version where at the very beginning of the song that the whole like string part is cut out.
Really? I don't know if I've heard that.
And there's another part or another version of that song where there's like something, it's like the last like chorus is like cut down or something. It's like
Huh.
a radio edit version.
Like a radio edit. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
weird.
And they're both, and I've heard both of them and it's so weird.
Wow. Yeah. I
But
don't think I've ever heard anything but the album version.
that's wild. So, but the other thing, like with that whole, I love that album too. And it's like, and this is where I was going to go because I mentioned the state fair gigs.
Yep.
And I was going to say, what is a band that you've seen live that in 2026 life is a band that you're kind of like, yeah, that's a cringe band to see live, but I've seen them.
Oh, that's a really good question, actually.
I'll tell you mine. And we're talking about damn Yankees, so you could probably guess who it is.
I mean, Ted Nugent, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I've never seen.
Saw Terrible Ted at the Kentucky State Fair one year.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't think I ever saw Ted Nugent live. Trying to think. I mean, definitely one that, well, at least certain people would call them cringe. I saw Creed live one time, and they
Okay,
actually.
was it this most recent time though?
No, this was like, maybe 10 years ago or so. Um, Something like that. And it was, I actually really enjoyed them because I've always really liked Mark Tremonti's guitar playing. Like, and his stuff in Alter Bridge is really good too.
Definitely.
But, yeah, we'll see if that revokes my metal card.
Dude, I don't think it matters at this point.
Nah.
But you know, I will say this though, like at least when I saw um Ted, he had like pretty much the classic lineup.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you know, he had Derek St. Holmes and he had Carmine playing drums for him. And shit. I can't even remember who was playing bass for him at the time.
I'm sure he played all the hits, he's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And the whole thing too about it is the arrogance of the thing. He's like, you know, he plays what's the show? It's like he does the show where like he said it's like he goes into Stranglehold or whatever, and or it's like he's playing Cat Scratch Fever, and he's like, that's the second greatest riff in rock and roll history. And he's talking for a second. He's just like, yeah, there's all these great riffs. He's like, yeah, but this is the first. And then he goes into like fucking like Stranglehold or vice versa or some shit.
Oh, Ted.
Yeah, and it's just this whole fucking ordeal, right? And to be fucking like 76 years old, and at 66 or 56 when I saw him doing the fucking shtick, but he wasn't wearing the loincloth, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's good. That's
But
good.
he was wearing like the fucking like the white leather pants and
Oh, of
with the
course.
fringe on, like he looked like a fucking buffalo hunter from like fucking Lonesome Dove.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's one that I would definitely
I
say is
mean, Creed
cringe.
was definitely a thing back in the day. Just like, they were in that time period where they really got big, like around in this area down here. We have Days of the New that
Yeah,
really got
I
big.
I really like Days of the New actually.
Dude,
Um,
I mean, I love those dudes. I mean, all like the original members, they're what they are. They did some amazing things. Travis did some amazing things after.
yeah. Well, and then they had it was one or two of the guys, or maybe more, that did Tantric after that, right?
There three. Okay, so how that applied was like um after Days broke up, basically it was Travis firing the other three. Then they took
Oh,
time and started a band called Carbon 14.
oh, I hadn't heard that.
And from that, they got together with Hugo through a management company, and he had the idea for Tantric. And they became the band at that time for Tantric. Now it's fucking Hugo and who the fuck ever. I don't know, but he's
Yeah,
still out there doing stuff. So I
I
know
I, I always thought it would have
Breeden
been
Powell
interesting
is
to
their
see
bass
them
player, I believe.
live as a
I'm
local
sorry.
band in Louisville. I always thought it would have been interesting to see them live as a local band in Louisville at the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And unfortunately at that time, like they were on the radar, but they were a few years like before me. So they're
Yeah,
like in the generation before me.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
they're where I'm 42, they're like 48 and 49.
yeah,
So they were like born in like 1977. So basically my sister's generation.
yeah, yeah.
Which
I
which is totally cool.
Yeah, I always really liked them. That was they're
Oh
really
yeah.
good.
And that's a weird thing too, like like regional hit type stuff, like they're obviously because they're from Indiana, but we get a lot of Blind Melon here too because of Shannon being from Lafayette. Same thing with, we get a lot of the fucking Guns N' Roses love because
Yeah.
of Axel
Yep.
being from Indiana.
Yep.
And not even that, but mentioning 65 in a song,
Yep.
you know that's that,
Yep.
out on the highway on 65,
Yep.
so it's like, holy shit, dude, that's totally cool.
I
It's
know where
like
that
back,
is.
I know where that is, man. I've been there, been the whole stretch. So I'm going to ask you some general questions about you as a person. We've kind of already been doing that, but actually, you know what, stop, break that for a second. So in 26, what is Scorched Earth doing?
Well, oh, I never finished talking about how we got our lineup. Well, we got Mickey.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, Mickey.
the connection there, well, Mickey's been a close friend of mine for quite a while. But what I don't know if you know this, you might. So Mickey is married to Brandon, who was the bassist in Lavaborne.
Okay.
So that was like through playing in a band with Brandon, got to know Mickey over the years. So
Actually, on the Metal Archive page for Mickey, it says married to Brandon Davis,
there you
bassist
go.
of
Yep.
Lavaborne.
Yep.
It actually says that.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we played together for years and got to know Mickey over that time. We're close friends now. And um, when Mickey wanted to try out for Scorched Earth, um, it was it was just pretty clear immediately that Mickey kind of had what I was wanting. That kind of uh, really influenced by like Sepultura, like I talked about earlier.
Sure.
That's like, it's not like, I didn't want the death growl of death metal, you know, like I can do those as backing vocals for, and I do, but I wanted something that kind of made us stand out a little bit, a little different for the genre. So,
Absolutely.
and I think we nailed it. I mean, it's been, you know, it's worked out pretty well. That show with Overload where the power outage happened, that was
Dude.
Mickey's first show ever.
Yes, and you know, and it was such an unfortunate deal because of having to, you know, play by the venue rules and be done by a certain time,
Right.
but then the power comes back on and we're
And-
able to roll and go.
Yeah, and we just rocked back out. It was great. And the other
Yeah.
thing is like that was so memorable. That I'm not like exaggerating here when, and it's not just because you were the one that put that show on, but it really was the best like first show. It wasn't the first Scorched Earth show at all, but like it was the new one with this lineup. So I'm
Sure,
considering
the
it a
first new
right?
lineup show.
And that was the best first show I've ever had, despite the power outage. Like it that made it so memorable. And like the fact that my sister was recording video of that song at the time when the power went out, and she got
Dude,
the
that's
crowd reaction.
great.
It was so good. And it doesn't like, I honestly, the power outage honestly just made it all that much more metal. Like,
For sure, dude. Like that's like what I'm talking about. Your sister was recording that at the time, you know, and I know Sam was taking pictures at the time as well.
yep.
So it was just like that whole deal of just like, holy shit, like what's going on? You know, it's like
Yeah.
we were all like, whoa. And
Yep.
like,
And then the lights just turned red for like the emergency lighting.
yes.
So
And
cool.
but you know what was another thing that was so cool about that night was like there were a
People stuck
fuck
around.
ton of, yeah, there were a fuck ton of people there.
Yep.
There seriously were. There were, you know, I was going into that show, and you know, when you're being the promoter to a thing and you've got money on the line, and you're like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? I don't
just
know.
don't know.
This is it's all uncharted territory, Jason Roach. This is what I'm talking about. You know, it's all uncharted territory. You never know until you do it, and there it is. And that was a show where I was going to be like, holy shit. And then that fucking happened. And I was just like, oh, fuck.
But then like people stuck around and like
Yeah.
they were ready for us when we got back on stage. It was so
Yeah.
good.
And like, I just sit there and I was just like, all right, what's going on? And was just like right with the bar and everything. And I had to, you know, I had to step up and be the guy because
Yep.
I'm the contact at this point. And it's just like, who fucking put this guy in charge? And it's like, and I've never experienced anything like that other than like in a park shelter house where we kept tripping the breaker. This was due to a fucking power outage because of a storm.
Like, it wasn't a storm. It was someone crashed into a power pole.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
But it was raining like a motherfucker that day.
It was raining, but it was a car crash that caused it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which was so wild because like across the street at the church, they had power.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't. And it was like, what a fucking bunch of shit. Like that church, man. But dude, that is a great first story though.
It was. And like
debuting a new band, a new lineup and everything. And then fucking 2 songs in, fucking bam. And then fucking everybody just sticking the fuck around, going outside, hanging out, doing, smoking on the patio type shit, fucking coming in, shooting the shit in the red fucking light.
Yep. It was great. It was so awesome. And like, with Mickey, with that being Mickey's first show, it was Mickey came up to me and was just like, what is happening? I've never thought that this would be a thing. And and I was just like, in all my years of playing shows, it's never happened to me either. So
Same, like I said, the only time I've ever fucking blown power out at a fucking show was when we fucking tripped a breaker
yep,
somewhere.
yeah,
Not like because of that.
no,
I
it was so good though. Seriously, like it just I don't think if anything the power outage made it more memorable, and it was just such a good restart for us. Really, it was.
So my other memorable moment from that show is trying to get the video to play on my fucking
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there going through this fucking shit, and it's like, God damn it, fucking play. Just fucking play already. And then here we're fucking burning daylight here.
Yeah, we're
And
literally
fucking
behind.
it finally plays. It finally plays. We play the set, and like 3 or 4 songs in, it's like we're going to the moment where we down tune to fucking C, right?
Mm.
And fucking I fucking go to down tune. I turn around and look at the screen, and I see that it's like the 20% battery fucking thing on my iPhone on the screen. I'm like, son of a bitch. And I look at Austin, and he just like does this smug little grin. And he's like, and I just shake my head, and I'm like, bam, fucking shoot me, dude. Fucking what the fuck? Hit the fucking and try to fucking hit it as you're going, and you keep missing the fucking dismiss.
So
And you're
funny.
hoping not to stop the video in the process.
Yeah. But yeah, that first show, like with everything that happened, it really solidified that that we kind of had we were in going in the right direction for Scorched Earth. So and
That's amazing.
and it we've been writing songs ever since. I'd say we've got almost enough for a full length at this point.
Definitely.
So I'm hoping that later this year we can kind of at least start that process. We're working on a single right now, just as a little like, hey, we've got something, you know. But then later on we'll do the full album thing. But
Sure. Yeah, and that's the total cool thing with it. It's like, there is no like that's what I love about it anymore. There's no time limit on any
no,
of this.
no, we're just
You
doing it
just
what
do it like we
feels
were
right.
talking about earlier. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're just doing what feels right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's really all that you can do. And if it feels good, do it,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
guess, we're not getting any younger. Uh, we're apparently not getting any freer. Uh,
Yeah.
So it's like we're all kind of just at a what the fuck ever kind of point, I think. So it's like, hey, I want to play fucking heavy metal and just fucking have fun doing it.
That's been my whole point. I want to have some fun playing music with my friends.
Exactly, and I want to play shows with as many fucking cool people as possible. Like, dude,
Yep.
like I know reaching out to you for the Razor Grave idea, we hit fucking everywhere. And
We
it's
did,
just like, fuck, that's a hot commodity day for some reason.
apparently. But that's how it
Fuck
goes
you guys,
sometimes.
you got competition all over fucking town that day. And that's just fuck. But I think this is going to be one of those years where I think we're going to be that deal where we're going to get a pretty decent amount of regional stuff from a lot of
Yeah.
people because we don't know what's going to be happening over the next couple years.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm really looking forward to doing sound again for you guys at Frühlings Fest. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, if y'all want to, do you want to spoil that and let that out? Is that
I can at least mention it. So let me check the date real quick just to
I
make
think it's on
sure.
May Day.
It May Day itself. Let me double check so I don't lie on the air here. Yeah, Friday the 1st.
That's
Yes.
May Day.
Yes. So, with the German American Club of Indianapolis on the south side of Indy, we have our annual Frühlingsfest, which is German for Spring Festival, and the Friday part of that is called Walpurgisnacht, which is the loosely Witches' Night. So, there's like a witch's dance and a fire dance, and obviously we will have Ice Howl playing for the second time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Amazing. Yeah, we're
And I
very
get to run
much
sound.
looking. And yes, and dude, that was such an amazing show last year.
It was so
It
much
was
fun.
it was so amazing. Like this year, I think we're going to do even better.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're you got more songs down now, and you'll be able to kind of you've grown together as a band since
Yes,
J-Run's been in the fold for a while now. So
absolutely. And she is amazing. Just an amazing person all around. My
yeah,
heavy metal sister, that is totally fun. And as I mentioned to Austin a minute ago, shout out to him. He's my heavy metal brother now as well, because even though he's more of a punk dude, he's
yeah,
more on the punk side of things and the doom side of things. He's
the
still my
Doom
heavy
side.
metal
Yep.
brother because he played for Rat King.
Yeah, I saw
He
that.
did
Yeah.
play a Metal Monday with Rat King, which was totally cool. He played I think he had like rolled up jean shorts, which were great, like cutoffs, but were rolled up, and no shoes,
Wow.
which was great.
What a
On the
get up.
Mag Bar stage, which was even better. The Magnolia Dome. But no, shout out to Austin and J-Ron. They're both great people.
Yep.
Definitely give them big shout outs as well.
Yeah, I've been as you know, been working with Jaron on a bunch of little side projects and stuff. So
Sure.
we've got some cool things coming pretty soon. We're nearly done with that metal church cover. It's gonna be cool.
That's going to be awesome because we did that at the
No
last
rehearsal.
show, and I'm just sitting there writing the C this entire time. I'm like, I didn't get a
I
chance
know.
to learn the song.
The whole time you were looking at me like I have no idea what I'm doing.
But yeah, and like I never thought, okay, so like here's where the snake eats its own tail kind of thing. I never thought I was ever going to be that guy. Okay. Because when I was so what is this, 2001 at this time? Okay, 25 years ago. Holy shit. So 25 years ago, I was playing a show at the Scott County Fairgrounds. I was the bass player in a band called Dissonance.
Okay.
And we had lost our drummer, hired a new one who had 2 practices with us. We met him on a Saturday. We were playing a show on a Thursday. We were able to get him there 2 days, and we practiced with him and we played a show together. And so the other band who we were playing with was a band called Soma.
Okay.
After the muscle relaxant. Yes. So anyway, we're sitting on stage, or they were playing on a concrete pad at the fairgrounds in between some like cattle barn shit.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because there's a racetrack there too, where they dirt car track. And like the guitar player looks over at myself and Alan, our the Dissonance guitar player vocalist, and he goes, I don't know this song. And he just fucking goes over and turns his amp down and fucking just pantomimes the whole fucking time. And like,
Hey, whatever works.
holy shit, dude, what the fuck? It's like, and then I played in a band with those guys after they fired their bass player. And you know what? He still did it. But those are the days, right?
So funny.
As Archie and Edith would say, those were the days. Dude, like, so yeah. Hopefully this year we'll get some new material. Even if it's a single or 2, that's great. Now, are you all going to be doing that like, do you all are planning to go to a studio? Or are you going to record and send
We're
it out?
we're doing it all ourselves. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I've got my little setup here. I can do everything except for drums here. Um engineering wise. And so like what I do and I record guitar is I set my cabinet up in the next room over there and I
Okay.
shut this door, but I have my amp head in here on this table and I'll set my tone, mic it up in the next room and just record that way, like old school, like mic it up
Sure.
and do that.
So, okay. So let me get into gear nerd stuff here really
Oh
fast.
yeah, I love this.
Okay. So, what are you playing on headwise?
My primary, okay, this is going to be fun. My primary amp that I use live for Scorched Earth is a Randall Satan. Uh,
Okay.
it's a big 120-watt head, tube head. It was if you're familiar with The Haunted or Feared, Ola
Mm-hmm.
Englund is the guitarist in those bands.
Yeah.
That's
I know the haunted.
that's his signature amp.
Okay, cool.
At least it
So
was at that time.
so going into the studio gig for this, here's where I'm getting into the real gear nerd shit. Using a tube head, obviously, you've got to have it set for prime and all of that.
Hmm.
So recording a tube head in a house
Yeah.
is kind of a big deal, especially if you're living in a metropolitan area of any design, even if your next neighbor is 50 feet away. 50
Yeah.
feet's kind of a long way in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So like even if it's that, so obviously your sound baffling has to be on fucking point. So
It's
why
yeah.
why not shift and go to like a reactive load box or something?
Well, for one, I don't own a reactive load box, but two,
Okay, well, I'm saying hypothetically if you did,
yeah,
like
hypothetically, it would be
would you prefer that?
probably not. I there's something about feeling an amp moving air for real.
The rattle and hum.
Like you can really, I, you know, maybe it's just because of it's what I've been used to all these years, but I do think you can hear the difference when you mic up an amp and you can hear that it is moving real air.
For
Um,
sure.
and I'm not trying to be a real amp purist or anything like that. Like there's totally a time and place for things like modelers and whatever and reactive load boxes and things like that. But there's something magical about that doing it the old school way and getting a good take doing that when you can feel it happening in the next room. This is
Sure.
special.
When I did this show I totally dropped into my redneck there. I heard it and felt my voice drop. But when I first started doing this show, we at the radio station, we had live bands on.
Yeah.
And they had the D drum set where it had the Roland mesh heads and the Zildjian air cymbals.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but when you would mic them up or use the triggers, everything was fine, right?
Yeah,
You
because it
just
uses
had to be able
samples,
to.
right?
Yeah, I mean, you could
Yeah.
totally do it that way, and it was just like you had to just basically mix them, you know, better.
Yeah.
You had to actually pay attention to what you were doing. So, like, when cymbal bleed coming through shit and all that, whatever, it's still there. But like, it was such a cool thing because they had the ISO box, which was basically a giant fucking road case with a nice fucking mic in there,
Yeah.
and you just fucking had that,
Yeah.
and it had 2-inch thick foam all through it. I really liked it when fucking people thought they could bring in like half stacks and shit.
That's we Panzer played a radio show one time years ago. At my old high school, the career center had a radio station,
Cool.
and we did a live show on air, and I'll never forget they because I didn't have any direct way to pump my signal to the board, they just used the effects loop send on my amp, and it sounded like ice pick garbage. It was so
Oh
bad.
my gosh. Oh,
It was
that's the thing that
unlistenable.
so before that station had announced that they were shutting down, uh, I was trying to get to a point where it's like, we're bringing in metal bands. We need to accommodate certain amps,
Yeah.
you know, even if we put in like a rack where we have a reactive load box or two, and they can bring their heads, and you just don't have you just mix it through the board.
Yeah.
They just take the load, the power load off.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like that was one of the things that we were trying to get done, but the funds were not there for the
Yeah.
for the
Well, and
stuff,
that's
unfortunately.
the harsh reality of terrestrial radio in the last several years. That's
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
definitely,
But
definitely.
um
But yeah,
but
those episodes are available. Go listen to some of those, because as of last week's episode, we are now at officially one episode a day for an entire year with no repeats.
wow, look at that.
So hell yeah. And they are all available on Spotify and YouTube,
That's awesome.
and
Wow.
exclusive video since 24. Hell yeah. Dude, so hell yeah. I mean, I totally get that with like, because not being an amp purist, but the difference in the deal. And yes, I do think with certain bands in particular, especially from like listening to take the new Megadeth album, for example. From what I've heard of it, it's got that very sterile
It
feel.
is. Yeah. I've heard about half of it, and yeah, I would agree. I'm sure
And
those
it
guitars were run direct. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But then you look at stuff like, look at 72 Seasons and the album before that. You kind of, on certain songs, you kind of feel that what you're talking about. But on other songs, I don't feel that air moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really depends on the context. And for
Yeah. And
me,
it's just like, but that's just apples to apples or whatever.
yeah.
But like, I think, even in, even in metal like what we do, I still think we can tell the difference. That's just like
Yeah.
that was done. Those were an e-kit or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
And
again, I'm not trying to demonize that stuff. There's a time and a place for it, and you know,
and I think certain genres depend on it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, totally,
I think for catching triggers on things, and like I think with some of the stuff like Ice Howl puts out, you know, it warrants doing it on an e-kit.
sure, yeah, and it's just, and then, so let me go back to that amp setup. So one of the reasons I purchased an amplifier, not just because it's a badass amp, but
Sure.
it also has an XLR direct output on the back so that I can be flexible in certain situations. If like house needs me to run direct for some reason, I can do that. You know what I mean? So I can still have my stage volume with my cabinet that I bring. And then, but if I need to be flexible, I can totally do that. So it kind of helps me to be ready for whatever situation.
For sure. And that's a great thing to have, because
It
especially
is.
on a tube amp,
Yeah.
because so is it like a crossover? Is there like an actual chipboard in there then?
There must be. Yeah, it's emulated output, so it sounds like a mic'd cabinet. It's pretty decent actually. Like I still prefer to record with a microphone, but
Sure.
but I've used it live direct and it's been fine. Like it's been totally serviceable.
That's
Um
awesome.
but then on the flip side, my other amp that I use, this is gonna, if anyone knows anything about gear that listens to this, they're gonna chuckle at this. So Max from, formerly from Lavaborne and Singular Path Audio. Um
Yes. With Charonics.
yes, and Chronics. And he and I one time, so I still have my practice amp that I had as a teenager. It's a little, it's 25 watt solid state Randall practice amp. And it has a
Nice.
little 8-inch speaker built into it. Okay. Um, Very simple little thing. Although it has some nice features, like it has a spring reverb tank in it and everything. It's pretty nice actually. Um, but what you would never expect is that this thing screams. And if you put it through a real cabinet, it screams so loud. It's you would never think it's 25 watts. It just needs a boost up front to get into metal territory, but it's anyway, one time Max and I took it upon ourselves to say, let's customize this a little bit. Let's modify it. So we opened up the little amp head portion of the combo, and we took the wires going from the power amp portion of the board in there, and we wired those to a 1/4-inch output and drilled a hole in the back of the amp and screwed that on there. So instead of running to the internal speaker, it was running to a jack like any other amp head would.
Uh-uh.
And so then we plugged it into a real cabinet. That little thing is a fire breather. It is loud, it's beefy, it chugs. It absolutely chugs. I've
Dude.
used it live several times and it's so good.
Okay, so get this. Like, I saw somebody do that where they had taken a PV Black Widow.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
Okay. But it was the base model with it was like the 115 115 speaker cab combo amp, right? I saw where they had taken the amp head out of it and cut the cab down and made it just an extension cab.
Yeah.
And just a basic head. And so they then split signal and put it into 2 15-inch cabs.
Yeah.
And we're just fucking rocking the shit out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but what they did is like, so do you remember like the old PV Tolex where it was kind of like fucking like 36 grit sandpaper?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wasn't the nice fucking like felt carpet?
No.
But yeah, it's like 36 grit fucking mud paper, and fucking like that's what he redid it in. It was like fucking bed liner.
So funny. Oh,
but
man.
Yeah, totally taking it. And that thing had on the inside of that cab, it had a fucking honking ass fucking heat sink.
Yeah.
With it being a fucking 115-inch fucking bass cab that weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah.
That was a fucking beautiful fucking sight. We played when I was in that band, the one where the guitar player didn't know the song. We changed our name to Full Tilt, and we played like a battle of the covers, and it was like you played 4 cover songs, right?
Okay.
And it was like a battle of the bands where you did 4 cover songs each and whatnot. It was basically for fun.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds,
And then like 2 weeks later, they did the annual battle of the bands that the dude put on, which was just another for funsies kind of thing. So, but like the cover band deal was just like you like had totally different band members playing with wacky other people.
Yeah.
So like you had like these weird ass mix and match bands that would do like Weird Al covers. 8-foot bunch, I think they were called. So anyway, like it was in January. We were leaving the show and I'm carrying this fucking Black Widow cabinet because I had one of those, right? And so we had got a bad snow that year, and it's kind of like this one, like the snow that's out there today where it didn't get above freezing, so it's still like packing down.
Yeah.
And fucking like as soon as I went, it's like there was the back steps. There's like 5 steps, concrete, because it was out the back of like a mini mall kind of thing where the venue was. And when you got to the bottom, it was fucking pretty much crunched down fucking snow. because everybody had been driving on it to load in
Yeah.
and load out
Yeah.
and all that shit. As soon as my feet hit that fucking snow, my
Oh
legs went
no.
out from fucking under me. And it was just like watching, it's like, when like the
Like a
coyote,
cartoon.
yes, the fucking coyote just goes and then looks down and then he fucking falls. It was just fucking like that. I had this fucking, I'm bear hugging this bass amp down these fucking stairs. And as soon as my feet hit, I'm like this and fucking this bass. And I'm just like, bear hug this motherfucker because if I let go, it's probably going to come down on my head.
Yeah.
And dude, my fucking drummer thought I was dead.
It probably knocked the wind out of you, didn't it?
No, actually, surprisingly, it didn't.
Wow.
That's a weird thing. I haven't had that happen since I was a kid. Like that's a fucking weird experience.
It is.
So okay, let's ask some general questions here.
Sure,
We've been rambling for a minute. This has been fun.
It's because we know each other. It's easy to talk to each other. So
exactly. And so also at Springfest, I'm sorry, the name of it is the German name?
Frühlingsfest.
Frühlingsfest. While Pergus knocked on the Friday, 2 sets for Ice Owl, correct?
Yep.
2 times the fun, 2 different sets each time as well.
Nice.
We're not going to do we'll do a fucking cool show. You come out and see both sets, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Those listening, if you're in the Indy area, central Indiana, you should come out. It's such a fun time. And
dude,
get up in your witchy garb and enjoy some German food. You can't go wrong.
And the German beer.
Yep.
Dude, that was such a fun night. Okay, everybody knows the 1st of May is always, it's either going to be somewhat chilly or scorched earth hot.
This past time it was perfect.
It was so nice out.
It could not have been
earlier
better.
in the day, but it didn't get humid.
Yep.
And it was just super peaceful out. And I was so concerned. I give 1,000,000% on stage. And if anybody's ever watched any of the videos that I've put up from either band, you can see that. But I was very conscious of my my intake that day, making sure I was hydrated, because of knowing that if I play one set and I'm going fucking nuts, and then
you got to do it
have
again.
Another set to play. Yep. Am I going to be dead? And luckily enough, the heat wasn't a bad thing. I made sure all of us had fans, and honestly, it kind of got a little chilly during the second set.
Yeah. Later at night, it did cool off a little bit.
Yeah. And it was so peaceful and so fun. And it was just a really chill night. I actually ran into a friend from Louisville there. She was dancing with the witches.
Oh yeah. I think I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah. LV, shout out. Hopefully they're going to come up again this year for that. Her troop, I hope, or coven, I should say, maybe.
Yeah.
Troop,
but it's
coven. So
much fun. It seriously, if you don't need to know German to have a good time at something like this. It's just, it's kind of it's the spring version of an Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest is looking forward to the fall. This is we're coming out of winter. Let's get ready for the warm months.
Yes. And it like I said, the food, oh my gosh, so good.
Can't go wrong.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all. The desserts, holy hell.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
So good. I'm so looking forward to this. And obviously, yeah, dude, working with you on that is such a fun deal, and I dig it. So, what book title best describes a life you would want to lead?
Ooh. Oh, that's a really good question. Oh, well, okay. This is actually pretty good. One of my favorite books is called Irreligion. Okay. IRRELIGION. Religion. So irreligion. And it's by a mathematics professor, teaches at a university. His name is John Allen Paulos. But he's written a lot of books about like mathematical literacy and things like that. And I'm a data professional, nerd alert again.
No, I mean, hey, that's people do what they do, man.
Yeah.
I'm
And
an auto parts professional.
yeah, yeah. But he writes a lot about things like um mathematical literacy and how that impacts people's daily lives. Like he has another book called A Mathematician Reads the Newspaper, and it talks about how headlines can be so misleading, and they also often prey on people's inability to comprehend mathematical concepts to make things sound either scarier or not so scary, depending on what the context is. Very apropos for the times we're living in.
Very much. So,
But
can I interject something here really
yeah,
fast?
yeah,
So, in that regard, every link, okay, so if I'm on a website that's a news site or something, I always click the fucking, make sure I'm looking at the fucking status bar to
Yep.
see the link of the article,
yep,
because on news sites they have to list if it is news or opinion.
yep, yep.
So make sure you look at that, because if it's an opinion, it's somebody trying to slant your view.
Yeah. Well,
Or
and
yeah,
even
no
if
matter
it's a
what.
news article, they like bend things certain ways to make you think certain ways, or whatever. There's a lot of different ways they manipulate that stuff. But not trying to go all conspiracy theorist here.
No, for sure.
But it's still very relevant for these times. But anyway, this book, my favorite book by him, is called Irreligion, and it talks about like the different ways that people's religious views color how they like conduct themselves in their daily lives, and also they kind of how religion gets interjected into so many different aspects of life, and we're seeing that now too with things that the government is doing. Again, not trying to go tinfoil hat, but these are.
I was just gonna say, I don't want to say their name on my podcast, but TPUSA.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very real.
I need TP for my bunghole.
But these are very real things, and they impact people's everyday lives. And um, I just I I try to lead my life in a way that is good. I don't need religion to be my compass for that.
Sure.
Like, I treat
You
people with
understand we're all
kindness.
people and we all have strengths and weaknesses, and
Yes,
we all deserve respect to each other because we're all part of the same, same group.
that's right. We're all in this
No
together.
matter what.
Yeah. And I think it's really important that at the end of the day, I'm not demonizing someone for having a religion or religious belief, but I do think that it should be considered a red flag if you can't conduct yourself without that religion. Like, if you need the threat of hell to be a good person, that's kind of scary to me, you know?
Sure.
So,
But yeah, and again, not to get super tinfoil hat on it, but again, a lot of those people are that way, but then they're just like, well, I'll ask for forgiveness.
it,
And
but
it's just like that doesn't jive for me personally.
it doesn't jive for me. And I'm just like, why can't you just, you know, treat
Just
people
be a
right?
good person.
Be a good person on the way out, on the way in. Like,
Yeah.
like just so, I care a lot about, like, animals and just conducting myself in a way that is positive, and I try to make a positive impact, and I don't need religion to do that.
Hell
So
yeah,
there's
man.
my answer.
Irreligion. is the
Irreligion
title
by
of your life.
yep.
Absolutely. I could totally get that. Honestly, dude, for me, like I could say 1984, but
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 gestures
yeah,
broadly.
yeah, right. As we're here in our homes, not in person, but that's only because of mileage.
Yeah.
We're about a good 100 miles away from each
Yeah.
other.
If
And
I lived in Louisville, you bet I'd be in there right now.
oh fuck yeah, dude! Like that was the unfortunate thing last week, or like a couple weeks ago with Scott. We live like he lives like a couple of towns over, like 30 miles away, and he would have been here, but we got a fucking dump ass amount of snow. So
Yep.
it's like, dude, we got to get this episode done. We might have to do it on Zoom. And he's like, yeah, I'm thinking so too. Because where he lives, they don't do fuck all to the roads
Oh yeah.
because
Our
there's a
our
lot of
road
Amish up
never got
there.
touched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, that's the unfortunate thing. A lot of neighborhood roads up there don't get touched, like
Yep.
cul-de-sacs and shit.
Yep.
Fuck, man, that's the fucking thing that sucks. At least where I'm at, up the hill from me is a fucking. I'm also 2 blocks away from a school, but like it's like up the hill from me is where all the fucking politicians and shit live. So they're gonna fucking plow the hill down,
Yep.
and I'm on the road up to that hill. So good for me.
Lucky for you.
Yep. But I'm also a half a mile from work. So if I
Yeah.
have to walk, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
So nah. It's a fucking sucks because it's cold.
Yeah, just in the snowy cold. Yeah.
What could you do all day and not consider it a waste of time?
Hmm. Wow, you got some good questions.
Oh, and I was going to say my answer to the book question. I said 1984 jokingly. I was going to say probably something like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep,
Oh yeah.
which is the novelization of what became Blade Runner,
Yeah.
dealing with the replicants and all of that and not knowing if that's what you are. And, you know,
There,
are we all replicants? I mean,
yeah.
even now,
I that still has relevance.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, what could you do all day and not consider it a waste of time?
Hmm. Um. That's a really good question. Um. I guess there's kind of two things that come to mind. Um. Well, for one, like, so my work. I work at Butler University in Indianapolis,
Okay.
and I do feel that working in higher ed is kind of a is meaningful, purposeful work, and I actually enjoy the particular job that I have. I'm a data analyst, and I get to use those math and programming skills that I've developed over the years. But
Nerd alert. He's on
ner-
Excel right now.
I do have Excel open right now. You're right. Um, but yeah, it's just I think that the work that I do, um, you know, fostering the education of the next generation and hoping that we have good, well-rounded, bright people, coming into the workforce or into important positions. I think that that's important. I think continued education is important and impactful. So, um, thankfully, I can say that my work isn't a waste of time.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, I'd say that's one, and also the stuff I do at the German club is maybe a little more fun and less professional, but I think
But
keeping cultural traditions alive is also important. So,
for sure, that's amazing. Like, to be able, what's the saying that they always told you was like, you know, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life kind of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll say this, when I was at the different position in the company I'm at now, when I worked there before and had a different position, I managed the fuel and vehicle maintenance for and all of that shit, and for the company, and was dealing with fucking spreadsheets and all that,
Yep.
and like essentially writing spreadsheet programs,
Yeah.
is super fun to me.
Yeah.
Like, I
It's like a
get it.
puzzle.
Like, yeah, like, okay, so how would you make this formula work?
Yep.
And it's just like clank, clank, clank. Nope, that error in a like fuck. And then you finally, it's like, so then you like consult fucking like, can you do this in Excel? And it's like just going through those things, and where it's just so user friendly to be like, just punch in this number, this number, this number, and everything else calculates.
Yep.
You make it fucking idiot proof.
Yep.
And I still think they fuck it up.
Yeah, they do.
Just don't hit delete.
I did the same stuff in one of my previous jobs. I was at H.H. Gregg. Do you remember H.H. Gregg?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We had one here in Clarksville.
Yeah. So I worked at the corporate office there for a few years. And my team handled all of the home delivery routes for all the trucks across the country from here in Indy.
Oh shit.
And I remember reading on the last annual report before I left. I left right like about a year before they went under. And the last annual report said something like our department saved like $7 million in operating costs from just fuel and stuff like that, because we were the ones setting efficient routes and not letting the third party carriers do it themselves.
Sure.
It was interesting.
That's amazing. But I will say this, they did go under.
They did go under, so it wasn't
that
enough.
7 million really didn't matter unless it was fucking like embezzled or something.
I don't know. It was really sad how they kind of went under, because that H.H. Gregg had such a long history with Indianapolis in particular.
Sure.
It was started here. So
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of those things where when I got that job, I thought it would be like, oh, I can make a career out of this. People have been here 40 years, And then a few years later, I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, they're going to go under. I better get out of here.
Yeah. And that was such a weird place to go, because it was just kind of like, so also, like down here in Louisville, we've got Charlie Wilson.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like an H.H. Gregg as well. He's an independent appliance sales, definitely gets a lot of the scratch and dent from like Home Depot.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And I'm thinking that's how H.H. Gregg, if I remember, was.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
they
had
got
appliances,
a lot of scratch and dent stuff.
They had a lot of scratch and dent. Although that was usually from like, a lot of those were from either like returns, like people just wanted a different color or something, or like logistics mishaps, like it got damaged on a truck or something.
Sure. And hey, I'm not above buying a scratch and dent of anything.
I'm not either.
Dude, like that was one of the most fun fucking things to ever do. Like in like the mail order catalog era of instruments.
Yep.
Like Musician's Friend and AMS and all of that cool stuff. Fucking like going through the back and like seeing what they had on scratch and dent for the cheap price, like Explorer, Gibson, gouge, backside, minus $900.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like 1,100, and it was, but it's like teal. It's like a fucking color nobody fucking wants. So you go and fucking like the next quarter, you get the book and it's still there.
See, that's when you
Or
call them and say, "Hey, I saw you haven't sold this. Can you knock another $200 off?"
exactly, yes. And we would and do and I would do that.
Yeah.
It's so much, dude. Like some of the best stuff ever is like getting fucking like power amps, like rack mount stuff,
Yeah.
power amps, preamps, fucking whatever, because it had a fucking scratch on the paint. That's it, just a scratch on the fucking paint, and it's just like $150 off type shit. And it's like,
And you're not
fuck
even
yeah,
going to see it because it's inside the rack case.
exactly. Or it's fucking fastened into the fucking rack unit in the studio.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, please, dude, give it to me. Give me that whole fucking deal. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, like I still love like some of them, like the Rickenbackers would be still call for price.
Yep. Of course
Even in
they
the
would.
scratch and dent, still call for price because it was still like $2,000.
Sure.
Um, if you were a superhero, what would your power be?
Ooh. What would it be? Hmm. I don't know. I mean, like my my first thought goes to something like Neo in the Matrix. Like being able to kind of bend the rules of the system at will.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
Now, okay, so you say Neo because of course we associate Neo as a hero of the
Yeah.
film, obviously, but I always have felt like Neo was kind of like Quicksilver in the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
the son of
Yeah.
Magneto, retconned into two different characters in the MCU since the Fox buyout. Uh, but no, bending of time, bending the rules of time
Yeah.
to, yeah, but like, that's almost like on the verge of like demeanor of the day. Do I become a super villain and do it like Adrian Osmandius in Watchmen? It's like he becomes the villain. Spoiler alert. It's only been out since like 1984.
Yeah, I think that's where I would go. Something like that. That'd be interesting. Be able
That
to,
would be
you
that would
know,
be really cool. I mean, for me, if I were to pick something like that, I guess something to do with an element of some type. It would be
yeah,
cool to be able to just like, you know,
have control over something. Yeah.
yeah, just be able to touch fire and not get burned,
Right.
or even, or be able to deal with extreme cold and not get frostbite or freeze.
Yeah.
So, but what's so really cool is there are mutations in our genome already that show that to be a thing. That people have issues like where they don't feel hot or cold.
Yeah.
And so like they've got to be very careful because they'll overheat their bodies or
Yeah.
they
They don't
will
regulate
really hurt
temperature. Yeah.
themselves. Yeah, because they don't feel a specific temperature or something, and
Yeah.
that's really wild.
Interesting.
Um, is maintaining a mental health a good thing for you? Is that something that you do?
Yeah. I'd say for me, that's really interesting. So I do think that it's really important to take care of oneself in that regard. Um, Now, on the flip side of that, in a country such as the US that does not have universal health care, it's
Or adequate mental health care?
and well, that's kind of what I'm getting at is that like, you know, it's really easy to tell someone that they need help or whatever, like if they're experiencing a crisis, but accessing mental health care is not I mean, mental health care is not accessible in this country. It just isn't. Um,
No.
and so I don't know. I think it's important to do what you can, if especially if something like that is not accessible to you, do what you can to like bring yourself whatever it is that you need, like peace, uh, bring yourself joy, bring yourself fulfillment in things that you do. Like that's for a while. I taught guitar at School of Rock, and um, as I studied to be a teacher in my undergrad studies, and I never ended up doing that afterwards.
Sure.
But teaching guitar kind of gave me a way to like scratch that itch to want to do that, to kind of get fulfillment in that way. And now like having the ability to like volunteer like I do with the German American Club, that brings me a lot of fulfillment in it, and it makes me feel good to help with something like that I know that has meaning and purpose.
Definitely. And yeah, making sure that, you do have adequate support and,
Yeah, support
that
system and
and I was going to sit there and say a moment ago as well with how we were talking about the almost inadequate and almost non-existent mental health care coverage from insurance and stuff in the states. It's almost it's really unfortunate because the ones that do take insurance, their rates are still so high,
yeah,
and it's still like, insurance then will only pay a certain amount of it, and then you're on the hook for another, whatever your copay is plus whatever insurance doesn't cover. And it's like, that's horrible to be a part of. And the and then again, getting tinfoil hat here, like talking about like CVS and the collusion between like them owning the drugs and the
yeah,
manufacturing of the drugs,
yeah,
them owning doctors' offices that prescribe the drugs, and them owning pharmacies that fill the prescriptions for the drugs. And they're basically triple dipping. This
yeah,
person bills this person, bills this person, bills you, and then they get the money from the government on top of that.
yeah.
And
And
it's just
meanwhile,
like,
people like us suffer.
yeah, the normal day-to-day working class people suffer from it. Um, who's your favorite Muppet?
Oh gosh. Um, you know, uh, that's a really hard question to answer because
There's so many good ones.
I didn't really watch a lot when I was a kid, but I will say that Cookie Monster kind of has a special place for me for two reasons.
Okay.
For two reasons. One, I'm a sucker for a good cookie.
Hey, yeah.
Two,
Am I
he was
right?
he was one of my earliest exposures to death growls. So
You're very, very right. And he's been on so many albums. So many of these classic albums that have influenced so many metalheads. He's
I
been,
wonder if death metal would be a thing without him. So
I mean, dude, that's the thing. It's funny that you say Cookie Monster, because I was watching this woman who is an artist. She does mashup illustrations, and somebody turned her on to the idea that due to Muppets eye placement on top of their heads,
they're like
they're
predators, right?
they're ambush predators.
Yeah.
So she made a great white shark and Cookie Monster mashup, and it was the Shookie Monster.
That's
And it's
terrifying.
basic. Yeah, it is great. I mean, it's a blue furry shark with fucking with eyes on the top of its head, which is great. But no, so mine would be like Pepe the King Prawn
There you go.
because he's hilarious. He's like a sleazy old man, but he's not. Like there's some of the ones, the outtakes that they do where he's like uh touching Lady Gaga's leg, and she's like, Pepe's like, I didn't mean it. Whatever I did, I didn't mean to do. But what's a sound that makes you happy?
A sound. A guitar amp cranked up in a big room.
Mm, that's a good one.
So when you have a stage in a big venue and you see a full stack up there and it's cranked and it just sings. Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna admit, I still like going to shows where, you know, they still have like amp cabs on stage, but I
Yep.
still appreciate I still appreciate both. Like
Yeah. I mean,
even if
especially
they
for a
have like
touring band.
scrims, yeah, if they have
Yeah.
scrims, I'm cool with that. If they have like the three fucking full stacks up there, and then the three like fucking 810 bass cabs up there, I'm cool with that. You know, that's cool. I'm not carrying the shit, so I'm
Nope.
cool with it. But if
That's
I'm
why they have
carrying it,
roadies.
exactly, that's why they have the road crew. Um, what's a song that what's a piece of media, song or movie that makes you cry?
That makes me cry. Ooh. Makes me cry. Uh okay. Super sad song. Um the band The Darkness.
I
Um
believe in a thing called love. No,
yeah.
that's a
The
super sad. That
the
song makes me cry.
no. On their second album, One Way Ticket to Hell and Back. The last song is called Blind Man.
Mm.
And it is just like so extremely sad and emotional. And if I encourage any listener who's not familiar with that song to go and check it out. It is it's mostly piano driven, but it is very like you can at the very end of the track you can hear Justin like it sounds like he's like breaking up, like crying at the end of it.
Oh wow. I'm gonna have to give it a shot. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that whole album is really underrated in my opinion. The first one is the best, and that's it's kind of untouchable. But that second album had so much. There's so much Queen influence all over
Mhm.
that album, and it was done so well, uh, despite uh, particularly Justin's drug problems at the time,
Sure.
which is
And
why the
plus I
band
think
broke
that
up.
was also the
So,
same time that they were also feuding with other bands at that point. I know he had said some things to about Lemmy and stuff like that,
oh, I don't remember
and
that.
yeah, and they had a thing where they had a big deal. That was in the Lemmy documentary even, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. Um yeah, crazy shit. Um what's something that you've always wanted to do but you haven't done yet? And you're and if so, why haven't you done it?
I would really, um, particularly, I would really like to travel to Italy,
Sure.
um, to experience the food. Haven't done it yet because international travel is expensive, and right now it's kind of weird because who knows if you'd be able to get back in the country at this point. So,
You know,
um,
what about, with Italian heritage as well? What about, maybe you can claim asylum or something?
I
Yeah.
my so I have a family member who is seeking, I think, dual citizenship, and even just that process has been difficult, even with the clear family ties. So
Sure. Yeah, but doesn't Italy also offer, aren't they one of the countries like Ireland that and like Finland or whatever that offer like $100,000 a year to live there
like
if you're an
incentives,
artist?
uh, there are I know there are some small towns that do that, that are trying to, like, because the population's aging and they're trying to get people to move there.
Sure.
Um, but I don't know about the country in general. But I would really like to go. I have been out of the country before. I visited Germany when I was in high school on a
Nice.
on an exchange trip, and I'll tell you, it's that I was there for a short time. It was only a 3 week school exchange trip, but it was truly eye opening.
Definitely.
Being in another country was eye
And
opening.
that's so cool that you say that because like when I was in high school, I didn't do any of that, but we had a German exchange student and talking metal with him. And
Yeah,
he's like 17. So he can go and have a pint,
yeah,
because they can drink at 16 there.
yep,
And like that's like totally fucking rad shit. And we're talking like fucking like German heavy metal, and it's like, and being in like fucking like 10th grade or whatever together, 10th or 11th grade or whatever it was totally cool.
yeah,
Super fun stuff.
yeah.
Um, dude, before we go, thank you so much.
Thank you for
I,
having me.
I appreciate you. This has been an awesome talk. And, I love conversations like this because it's like, finding the parallels of like, hey, we used to play a lot of shows around here and here and here. Dude, I know that venue, that stuff is totally cool to me that, you played it at a different time, and it's
Yep,
just like, hey, at least somebody got that experience too that
yep.
I can relate with. And that everything like, so I am a huge Spinal Tap fan,
Same.
like insanely, like they're like, honestly, they were on my top 5 of 25 for the End Continues soundtrack album.
Yeah. I
And
still haven't
because
seen The End Continues. I really want to.
it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, we
This is not a plug, but it is.
Sam and I went to see, so they had
Give
the
me some
original
money,
movie in
HBO.
theaters briefly before the new, like,
Yes, back
just
in
as a,
July.
yeah, Sam and I went to see that in the theater. And it was fun, But
So cool thing for me. I actually know somebody who has seen them twice,
wow.
like actual perform live twice. One of them was at
Wow.
NAM one year, and the other one was during some festival thing, and they played at the Whiskey,
Wow. Whoa.
and they were both in the 90s.
That's wild.
So yeah, totally cool stuff. And but when they released for the 41st anniversary, obviously it's the 41st anniversary because of Spinal Tap. They never got the fucking, they didn't do it on the 40th. It has to be messed up. So it's the 41st. I actually saw that in LA that weekend.
Wow.
So yeah, me and my friend Courtney and Fernie went to that, and dude, like, it's still so fucking good.
Yeah. Man.
Rest in power, Rob Reiner.
I was just gonna say the same thing. That's tragic.
And now Catherine O'Hara. Oh my God,
Yeah.
she's not in This Is Spinal Tap, but definitely in the other Christopher Guest mockumentary films. A Mighty Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Hell yeah. So thank you again for doing this. This has been awesome. Such a great deal. Great conversation. On our way out today, as always, links they're listed below. So give us likes, shares, and follows. Go do all the things and all the stuff. Go to the Bandcamp pages. Go see live shows. Go do all of it. Buy merch, buy shirts, buy patches, stickers, whatever you can. Support in any and every way you can, even if it's just a like on a fucking post or whatever. Just give a thumbs up, show people that you're there and that you actually give a fuck about the metal and these awesome things that these fucking people do, because that's what it's all about. It's like metal
Sure
every
is.
day, as I always fucking say. But anyways, Brando, do you have any shout outs or anything else you'd like to promote today?
Oh, let's see. Well, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but other than obviously Scorched Earth, uh, I do have a few solo things I'm working on. So I've got that metal church cover talked about earlier. It's very close to completion. It's been recorded and all that and mixed and everything. I did all the um, engineering myself and all the mixing, and very proud of how that's turning out. Just waiting on one more piece of video footage, and then we'll be good. So really excited about that.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and then got some other covers in the pipeline. Some I've worked on for years at this point that just kind of had to go on a back burner. Now it's coming
Well,
back. So
I'll actually have to learn one.
yeah, and not just play that pedal C note the whole time.
Yeah. That
But
hey, but I will say in that song,
hey, it worked.
it does
And
work.
no one cared. I thought it was hysterical, especially your face.
Yeah, right. And then you just sit there and you go, it's like and it's like go to the high C and then go to the low C.
And meanwhile, I was stressing about my like four guitar solos that I had to do. Or no, I had to do. Wait, I had to do all of them, didn't I? Because
Yeah,
Jason,
you did all of them
I
because
did.
Jason did the rhythm and Seth, I don't think Seth did most of the rhythm.
So that means, so each guitar solo section had four on each side, four for each guitarist. So that means I did 16 guitar solos. Yeah,
That's insanity.
that was ambitious, but hey, we did it.
Hey, we did it. And unfortunately, my video didn't record that.
Oh
I
no.
think I got the audio. I
Oh,
think
did
I
you?
just have the audio to it.
Well,
I'll have to look at it and see
that's
and
funny.
and check it, but I think I've got the audio to it.
But if people want to
Okay.
know about that stuff, the handle I use on Facebook and Instagram for that is Cacodemonia. That's Cacodemonia. Cacodemonia.
And what is that, by the way?
Well, it's actually a psychology term for someone who has been like possessed by a demon. Um, but the have you ever played the Doom video games from
Of
back in the
course.
day? The
Yeah.
Caco Demon character was the reason I found that name. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, the
Hell
red thing
yeah.
that floats with one eye. Yeah.
Yep. I had an idea for a band one time that was called because I was flipping through a health book and I saw a name, I saw a word that looked really interesting. It was cytoplasm.
Yeah.
And I
That
was
would
like,
be
dude, that's a thrash metal band name like
that
fucking no one.
that is a thrash name right there.
It's like it's like nuclear holocaust.
That would be awesome. You know what? I'd be surprised if that's not taken. Let's see. Cytoplasm.
Are you on the metal archives?
I'm looking right now. It is taken. Yep. And it's an experimental slam/brutal death metal band, apparently.
That makes sense.
It does make sense.
That makes sense. Um, dude, final
Thank,
question of the day.
yeah,
This is kind of a back to the future type question.
sure.
Okay. If you could go back in time and give your parents advice before you were born, what would you give them? What advice would you give them?
Oh, that's a really good question.
If you got an 8-year-old that sets fire to the rug, go easy on him.
I was actually a pretty good kid. I but definitely did not have the best home life growing up. I'm not gonna go into trauma dumping mode here, but
For sure.
had a rough go with my mother. But speaking candidly, I would tell her to lay off the alcohol. For real.
Yeah.
Too real.
Dude, I get that. I mean, there's so many people, so many friends that I know. And maybe it's this area, maybe it's every area. Maybe it's just part of the day-to-day life stuff that, that's how some people, that's all they know.
Yeah,
And
I mean, well, she had alcoholism and mental health problems, which both exacerbated each other. So
sure.
it was
Yeah, because if you're on mental health medication, and obviously, in your, like we were talking earlier, that it's more accessible now to get mood equalizing medication than it was then.
well, and she was undiagnosed with the mental health issues.
Sure.
So she would never have even gone down that road. But the alcoholism caused cirrhosis of the liver with her, so that there was no getting around that.
No,
so
definitely not. So definitely feel that when just lay off the alcohol.
Yeah, that'd probably be the biggest one.
Definitely, dude. Brandon, thank you so much. Scorched Earth, ladies and gentlemen. No, seriously, Scorched Earth.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for having me on here. This has been so much fun.
Dude, I mean, I wasn't expecting a 2.5 hour talk,
I know. Well, I mean, it's just easy. I think
it is. And that's what makes these some of the best, and obviously I want to bring you guys back down to Louisville soon, play.
We would love that.
Here. Maybe if we could do a Metal Monday or something or whatever, maybe do something with Overload, do something maybe with Ice Howl down here. Who knows? We'll do something.
I'm definitely wanting us to go out of town more this year. We there's one that's not announced yet, but we have a show in Lafayette. That'll be our first one
at the
there.
Doom Room,
I believe so.
The North End Pub.
So, and I've played there at least once before in Lavaborne. So
yeah, they're pretty good, and they're really good about. What's really cool is they give almost everybody a shot.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of repeat bands. They have dude, from the year before, they've got the every band logo. They put it on a banner.
Oh yeah.
For the band that plays every band that plays the previous year. That's
so cool.
And that's so awesome. It's ours, when we played there in 22 or 23, there it was, the next year. And it's that's cool.
Yeah. So folks will have to keep an eye out for that. It's not announced yet. And then we're working on some more shows this year because I'm really, really trying to, like I said, I'm trying to have some fun playing music with my friends. And I love playing live. I really do. So.
Dude, and you all do it so well, and it's so fucking awesome. And seriously, go see them live. Go pick up any kind of merch you can from the Bandcamp pages and wherever they have it. Like I said, links are below. Dude, from Demolition, what do you want to play?
Probably the self-titled track, Scorched Earth.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series.
Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit Shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code MetalForge10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my